King Charles III has flown to Scotland with his wife Queen Camilla, where they will have time to privately mourn the death of the Queen for the next few days. The sovereign reportedly left RAF Northolt on a private jet. As the new sovereign boarded the plane with his wife, the King's escorts removed their helmets and bowed, the MailOnline wrote. The King arrived at Aberdeen Airport around lunchtime, and was photographed looking sombre while being driven away. While north of the border, Charles is expected to visit the Balmoral estate, where the Queen died 12 days ago. However, he will likely stay at Burkle, his much-beloved Scottish home inherited from the Queen Mother in 2002, rather than Balmoral Castle. King Charles III travelled to Scotland with Camilla. Image, Newsline Media. The King was seen leaving Aberdeen Airport. Image, Newsline Media, parted from her crown for the final time. Inside the Queen's committal service, Queen Elizabeth II's 70-year reign came to a symbolic end when she was parted from her crown for the final time, ahead of its official passing to King Charles III. Find out what happened during Her Majesty's committal service. Charles and Camilla's trip comes only hours after the royal family took part in a private ceremony in Windsor, after which the Queen was buried in the King George VI Memorial Chapel. Located next to the choir of the main St George's Chapel, the late sovereign was reunited there with Prince Philip, her husband of 73 years. In the small memorial chapel built in the 1960s have also been buried King George VI, the Queen Mother and Princess Margaret. This private event took place after the country rallied around the royal family for the funeral service held at Westminster Abbey at 11 a.m. Read more. Queen is buried alongside Prince Philip in intimate family funeral. King Charles during the committal service at St George's Chapel. Image, Getty. This ceremony was attended by more than 2,000 people, while thousands more mourners lined the streets, later crossed by the state gun carriage and state hearse carrying the Queen's coffin. Among the high-profile attendees at the funeral were U.S. President Joe Biden, French President Emmanuel Macron, and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Several foreign royals also travelled to the capital to pay tribute to the longest-reigning British sovereign, including Monaco's Prince Albert II and Princess Charlene and Denmark's Queen Margrethe II. King Charles led his family in 3 processions during the day, starting with the cortege which took the coffin from Westminster Hall to Westminster Abbey. Don't miss Harry puffs out cheeks after draining day for royals. Clip: Queen spent final days with favourite courtier Tall Paul. Insight: Charlotte shares sweet glance with Uncle Harry. Pics: King Charles led the country during the state funeral of the Queen on Monday. Image, Getty. Camilla became Queen Consort after the death of Her Majesty earlier this month. Image, Getty. After the funeral, the King walked once again behind his mother's casket through the streets of central London, and one last time after the hearse arrived on the grounds of Windsor Castle for the committal service held shortly after 4 p.m. at St George's Chapel. While the period of national mourning ended after the state funeral took place yesterday, the royal mourning will last until September 26. This will give the chance to firm members to process their grief after having made several public appearances over the past few days. At the end of the last day of national mourning, both King Charles and the Prince and Princess of Wales' Twitter account paid one last public tribute to the Queen. More than 4 billion people around the world watched the Queen's funeral. Image, Express. The royal family Twitter account shared a never-before-seen snap of the late sovereign. The breathtaking snap, taken at Balmoral, shows the Queen on a walk on her adored estate. The post also included a message, reading, "May flights of angels sing thee to thy rest." In loving memory of Her Majesty the Queen. The Queen was buried in Windsor. Image, Getty. Kate and Prince William's social media account, on the other hand, shared a picture of the Queen's coffin being carried by 8 pallbearers. This black and white snap also included a heartfelt tribute, reading, goodbye to a queen, a mother, a grandmother and a great-grandmother. The Prince of Wales will also respect the period of royal mourning, and is unlikely to fly to New York to attend, as it had been previously planned, the Earthshot Innovation Summit co-hosted by his organization the Earthshot Prize.